So hey guys, before we get into this Chioma Chats video, I wanted to show you this hair. This hair is from Unice Hair, and they're sponsoring this video. You guys can check out their social media, their Facebook, their Instagram, as well as their YouTube. So opening the box, I got 4 bundles and a closure, and as you can see, the bundles are nicely wrapped up. Here is a closure. The knots did not come bleached, so of course I'm going to bleach the knots so that it can have a nice natural look to it. And then when we move on to the actual bundles, of course, here's my 4 bundles in the natural wave texture. The longest length that I got was 26 inches, and I really love this texture. Definitely very fluffy, very voluminous. So I go ahead and I make the wig, and I just kind of wet it a little bit because we're actually going to be coloring this wig, hence the title. So the featured product is the L'Oreal High Color Highlights for dark hair only. So I just saw this at the beauty supply store. I'm like, okay, let's try this. You're usually just bleaching your own hair with the lightening powder, the developer, and the toner. So let's try this and see if I like it. So here I have the bottle here, and it's just like a little small tube. If you were doing your whole head, you would definitely need about 4 to 5 of these, and you're just going to go ahead and poke it.
And this is Priscilla rocking the Freak to Wig by yours truly. You know, you can just, only if you could smell this. It smells great.
Of course it does.
You know, I don't know how I do it sometimes. You know, you see how that.
So you made that wig from start to finish?
Yeah, from start to finish. You see how that lines up like that, and it's split right there. You know, it's straight down that middle right there. Priscilla is going to be fly tomorrow.
Yes, she will. And we about to finish her up.
So I hope you guys like that little insert there of him playing with my wig. But you're going to need a bowl as well as some 30 volume cream developer. And you're simply just pouring that into the bowl. So we're going to start to mix it all up. And go ahead and add in the whole tube of the L'Oreal High Color and then mix it up with your mixing brush or whatever you use to apply it. So I just wanted to do a little bit of streaking because obviously I only have 1 tube. So I'm not going to get that much done. And I just wanted it to kind of be like highlights all over the wig. So I then used a comb to kind of just brush all over the wig to disperse the product. That way I can kind of get like a better, less harsh look. And I kind of just wrapped it into like a shower cap and I let it sit. So it started to lighten. I let it sit for like a while. And by a while, I mean like a good hour. But then I was like, you know what, Chioma, you don't really have time for this. You just want this to kind of hurry up and go fast. I don't know if I was doing it wrong. It kind of got to like a brown color. So I just went in with my bleach anyway. And I just kind of went over the sections. I'm not sure if I just did it wrong or if it just takes a while to lighten up. But I really just didn't have the time because the video had to get filmed. So that's pretty much what I did. Again, using the comb to brush through everything. And when I was finished, this is the product that I got. Nice and fluffy still, even after the bleaching. This is some good high quality hair. So the next thing was just pretty much styling. And again, I use my heat tool when it's hot to kind of flatten the top of my wig, making sure the closure is laid flat. And then I do my famous barrel curls. So I'm taking a wand from Remington. It's a larger wand. And I'm just, you know, making sure my curls are popping. So this is what it looked like when I was all said and done with the curls at least. And then I decided to take a comb, and you can also use your fingers so that you don't get as harsh of a rake, because I kind of was raking it, and just kind of separating the curls so that you have some effortless waves. And when it was all said and done, this is what the girl was looking like. So I got a little bit of brown, a little bit of blonde, just wanted to add some color because, you know, Peter Thomas decided to show his little booty and say some crazy things about black women in weaves and color. So I pretty much just decided to be petty and do the same thing. I just, you know, added some color to the hair. So that is it. That is how I got this look. So let's get right into this video.
Hi guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is another Chioma Chats video. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Hey. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Hey. So you can tell by today's title, we're going to be talking about a very, very touchy subject, something that was kind of going trending. Today's title says, dark-skinned women should not wear blonde hair. So before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that this video is a collaborative video with my girl here on YouTube. So I am collabing with I Am Iloho. So you guys better go check out her channel because you know we're having a Nigerian collaboration, okay? So she's going to be talking all about this topic as well, sharing her opinions. We've been talking about it through Instagram, and we just think it's kind of crazy, and we decided, you know what, you do commentary commentary, I do commentary. Chances are we probably have the same viewpoints about this, so let us get right to it. I will have her link in the pinned section down below so that you guys can go check out her opinions and her channel as well. Be sure to subscribe and definitely support another YouTuber. So if you guys haven't heard, Peter Thomas appears on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think. I don't know, I don't watch any of the housewives shows. It was just never really like appealing to me. I never thought it was even interesting, and he decided to make this comment here.
I'm gonna say some shit and I'll probably get a lot of flack for it. I just drove by and saw something I gotta comment on. I love women. Love black women. Oh my God, I love y'all. Okay? But I also love black women to wear their natural hair. If you want to process it, if you want to iron it, if you want to add some extension to it, I'm all good with all of that. But y'all got to know that everything is not for everybody. I don't like to see people darker than me. Black as fuck as me. Okay? Woman. Okay? Wearing blonde hair. Or honey blonde hair. And it's not even done right. It's just crazy. Because it looked like you were wearing a fucked up hat. And when you're walking around with that, and them other people that's their shit, see y'all, you gotta know that they're laughing at y'all motherfuckers. And I'm not even trying to be mean.
So I find it funny where once again we do have a dark-skinned man basically telling dark-skinned girls exactly how to look, how to wear their hair, how to dress. You know, it's always something that they do. So I broke this video down into 2 talking points that I wanted to discuss. So let's get right into this video. So point number 1 is basically what I was just talking about, how black men love to dictate what black women do. So I will give black men their credit for their recent use of black women in the media. So in things like music videos, magazine covers, things like that, I will give them their credit because I've been seeing a lot of black women being used more often than not. But overall, it's a no. Black men love to dictate the thresholds of what women who are black, especially darker skinned women, can do, what they can wear, the type of men they can date, things like that. So it comes as no shocker to me that he, for whatever reason, decided that it was his place to express his distaste for black women wearing darker hair. And I don't understand how someone can sit up here and say that women that are darker than him should not be wearing blonde hair when in reality, Peter, you are dark skinned with a white beard. So you see the contrast of your white beard on your face, and then you think that you look any better than a dark skinned woman who's wearing colored hair. And now granted, yes, white hair comes with old age, gray hair comes with old age, and you get it. And so to see that that's something that naturally occurred to you, where your hair color turns very light and doesn't look normal or contrast to the color of your skin, what makes a difference if a black woman goes out and decides to wear blonde hair? Now in his second video where he tries to kind of like correct what he says and talk about what he meant and what he didn't mean, he again reiterated the fact that he meant women that are darker than him, women that are very dark.
Okay, all right. So I posted earlier about black woman with blonde hair. I said black as fuck, not all black women. Please stop taking my shit out of context. I said blacker than my black ass. All right, and if you're gonna do it well. And don't try to put Nene in the leaks, because every time Nene come out of our house, her shit is fierce. Her shit is always fierce. Okay, and I love her with that blonde hair, by the way. And she ain't blacker than me. She brown skin, like dark brown skin. So when she put on that nice blonde with the shine to it, she's incredibly marvelous. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to trip us up on that bullshit. What I saw today, I should have took a picture of it, and then all y'all motherfuckers would agree with me. Everything is not for everybody. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, because that lady was a hot mess. That shit looked like she just took it out of a bag and put it on top of her head.
At the end of the day, Peter Thomas is a very dark man. He's on the darker spectrum of dark people. So basically what you meant is any woman that is not necessarily darker than you, but darker than the societal standard of beauty should not be wearing blonde hair. So which is why I decided to be petty. And I just got a little bit of color in my hair for this video that is sponsored by Unice, you know? Because granted, I'm a darker woman. Do I look bad? Is that what you're saying? Because essentially, I don't believe that he had the right to say people that are darker than him when he is on the darker spectrum of black people anyway. So essentially you're trying to narrow it down or renege or try to, you know, just trying to pull back on what you said and make it seem like, oh, I said people darker than me. How many people are we going to see that is that much darker than Peter Thomas? You're already on the darker spectrum. If he was Drake's complexion and said something like that, then that would be different, because then it would be, I mean, it would still be messed up, but then I could see like, okay, you just blatantly mean anybody dark should not be doing it. But you tried it to make it seem like anybody your complexion should not be wearing blonde hair. And that's just a no, because it's a no. Now, my thing is, if it comes to preference and opinion, I understand where he's coming from. I see no issue with him expressing his opinion and see no issue with him expressing his preference. You know, I understand where he's coming from in terms of, I can say what I say and I can feel how I feel, but in a day and age like this where the generation is very sensitive and people do not take lightly to black women being diminished, belittled, especially by the choices that are put onto them by people outside of black women, like black men, it should not have been said, period. Now, moving on to point number 2 is societal hypocrisy. And I oftentimes reiterate this point because I find it so funny how so many people can pick and choose when to have selective outrage, as I've heard my girl Christy say on YouTube, about certain things. What is the big deal about hair color? Tell me what the big deal is about hair color as it relates to black women. I feel like when it goes to dictating a black woman's hair, a lot of people just want us to stay in a one-sided, nowhere near multifaceted, one-dimensional type of look so that they can say that we are all the same, which is why I always tell people, don't just sit up here and make people put you in a, oh, this is what a black person looks like type of ordeal. You can express yourself and show that you have individuality within a race of people. Like I said, there are people who are black that are from Africa. There are people that are black that just live here in America. There are people of Latin descent. There are people that consider themselves black that may not be African, you know? Let alone, it's not even always whether you are black or what race you identify with. But sometimes, as we know, the way how genetics play and the way how people can come out looking like anything, you don't even have to be of that race or ethnic background to even have the color of skin that you have. There are Indians that have dark skin. So you don't necessarily even have to be of a certain race or ethnicity to have a dark color of skin. So with that being said, the societal hypocrisy. If a white woman can go from blonde hair to brunette hair to jet black hair without issue, with no chastisement, and with ease, why can't a black woman do the same thing? And a lot of times I get this argument, well, it isn't natural. I call BS because there are cultures that have dark-skinned black people with natural blonde hair. So me being me, I decided to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson or a little bit of a geography lesson, just in case anybody thinks that I'm not telling the truth or that this can't happen. And I'm going to let you guys know about a certain culture of people that actually are dark who possess naturally blonde hair. So enter the Melanesians, a native group of people living on the Solomon Islands northeast of Australia, famous for their beautiful dark skin and naturally blonde hair. Yep, that's right. They don't sport weaves, wigs, extensions, permanent dye, temporary dye, some weird henna reaction, or whatever else anyone uses to get the blonde look that's so typical of the Caucasian persuasion. 10% of these islanders actually come by it naturally. The odd combination has got scientists wondering about how such a color combo develops over time. According to the global financial newswires, many scientists have long thought that their blonde hair was a result of a diet high in fish, perhaps bleaching by the sun and salt water, or a reminder of the island's historic relations with people of European descent. In fact, the blonde Melanesians have blonde that is uniquely solely to them. According to the study in which scientists compared 43 blonde-haired islanders to 42 dark-haired islanders, blonde Melanesians have a variant of a native gene called TYRP1 that plays an important role in the melanin biosynthetic pathway. This variant is completely separate from what causes blonde hair in Europeans and does not exist in the European genetic set. What's truly beautiful about this fascinating discovery, as so perfectly stated by the study of author Sean Miles, a geneticist at Nova Scotia Agricultural College, is that it's a great example of convergent evolution where the same outcome is brought by a completely different means. And that makes hair of all textures, types, and colors absolutely unique and absolutely beautiful. So I love that article because it proved that for you to sit up here and say people dark skin should not be wearing a certain color hair because, again, to the American style and American standard and what is considered, I guess you could say, normal and American view of darker skin or black people, it's not normal. It's not the same. It's not common. I understand that. And that's why you have to be careful what you say, because there are people who are just as dark that possess that hair hair color naturally? And are you saying that, okay, it's ugly altogether, so those group of people are ugly, that culture is ugly? I'm not sure if it's necessarily wrong, but I feel like it's kind of disrespectful for someone to use their American bias or their work or their American societal norms and be able to project that as the only way that black women can be seen as beautiful when it comes to beauty standards. So again, saying that dark-skinned women should never wear a certain hair color based on the virtue of your own societal means and based on your own societal norms or what, i.e. black American men deem as beautiful, is disrespectful, biased, and very ignorant. It may look alien or it may look unnatural to you just because you haven't seen it, but don't disregard it and don't disregard that it can happen. Now, getting back to the point of societal hypocrisy, I did want to touch on his comments about natural hair. I've talked about this again and again and again and again, and I really want the answer. Is it because a lot of black women wear weave that you're upset, or is it the actual texture of the weave that makes you upset? Is it because the natural texture does not match our natural hair? Is that what makes people upset? Because where I see it is this: at the end of the day, if I wear extensions and a white woman sitting beside me wears extensions and we wear the same exact extensions, I'm gonna get chastised for it and she is not. And I don't believe it's because I'm wearing extensions. I believe it's because of the texture of my extensions. So a lot of people like to equate self-hate and not proclaiming your blackness and shunning your African roots as you wearing weaves and wigs. And what I never understood is that if my white counterpart woman could wear it, why is it bad for me to do so? So when people throw that argument like, oh, you wear weaves so you trying to be white, I'm like, how so if there's white women who are also wearing hair extensions? I think people should really start to channel their anger towards the texture. My argument to the texture is simply, if I have curly hair and I can straighten my hair bone straight, if I go get a silk press or even use my own flat iron and I have nice clipped ends and my hair is healthy, I can straighten my hair bone straight. If a white woman has wavy or curly hair and she straightens her hair, she can straighten her hair bone straight. So if I get a straight weave, I can manipulate my natural hair with heat or whatever it may be to match that texture. As well as a white woman does not just go and get hair extensions installed and then walks out the salon. She still has to use heat and whatever other methods to manipulate her natural hair to match and blend with the extensions. If I just decide to let my natural hair frizz up through water or whatever it may be, humidity, and I had some natural fro 4C type hair extensions, are you guys still going to be mad? Is it because I'm wearing the weave or is it because of the texture? And I'm going to need people to make up their minds, because I feel like it's a stupid, very ignorant, very disrespectful argument to have that a black woman wears weave and that makes her a self-hater and that makes her trying to appropriate or be a part of white culture when they still do the same thing too. And then it's like, okay, so if it's the texture, why is it that if I go get some 4C hair extensions and people can't tell if it's my hair or not, all of a sudden, is it still because I'm wearing a weave or is it because of the texture? Which one is it? And on top of that, if I decide to dye my natural hair, because my natural hair can take to color, it can bleach, it can lift, it can color, I can dye my hair every color of the entire rainbow spectrum. And if I dye it, I'm, oh, you're ratchet for wearing lime green hair, you're ratchet for wearing bright red hair, that's not your natural hair color. But if a white woman does the same thing, it's, ooh, that's spunky, that's exotic, she's different if she dyes her hair a different color. When Kylie Jenner went and did her hair blue, that was a look. When she did the whole teal thing, that was a look. Everybody was like, damn, this is cute, we're gonna try this. Everyone did a Kylie Jenner inspired video. But the whole lime green and orange hair trend is now popping and black women are doing it, but they're getting shamed for wearing these wild colors, which is a wig. It's only temporary. And technically, I didn't even have to damage my natural hair to even wear a wig that's a different color than my own hair, which means I'm protecting my hair and not damaging it, whereas she did. You know, so I don't understand why black men, and a lot of times anybody within the black community and outside of the black community, often chastise black women about their hair, when in reality, why does it matter what I do to my hair? Why does that make you not sleep at night? Why does that make you get upset and write comments underneath saying that I'm trying to be a white person? If you don't like to wear weave, that is completely your prerogative. If you do, that is completely your prerogative. Quite frankly, I don't think people understand what a weave actually does for you. When you have hair that is not often promoted, for ages we didn't have products to even help us take care of our hair, and we were also conditioned by this European standard of beauty. Oftentimes, yes, we did try and go for wigs or weaves for whatever reasons, but at the end of the day, this protects my natural hair. I don't have to manipulate my hair. I don't have to put heat to my hair. I don't have to put tension on my hair to put on a wig over it. Covering your hair with a wig does not mean that you're neglecting your natural hair. That actually, more than anything, is helping you with your natural hair. As long as you keep your hair moisturized, as long as you keep your hair saturated, as long as you keep your hair oiled, and as long as you know that you don't pull on your edges, you don't put too much glue, as long as you're doing the right steps underneath with the underneath care, there's no downfalls to wearing a weave or wig. It's helped my hair tremendously versus me leaving it out and it gets, you know, hit with different types of weather and climate. And that doesn't mean that I'm ashamed of my natural hair, because quite frankly, I have videos with my natural hair showing, but I never understand understand why oftentimes, especially if you're on the darker spectrum of black women, that we are oftentimes sitting up here getting chastised for our hair, and now it's even down to the color, so now we can't wear blonde hair. I just don't get it, you guys. This is just another example of how coloristic views is definitely governing the society, especially black people. We have dark men thinking that they can sit up here and tell the women that are the same complexion and darker than them that they are essentially suspended from a certain hair color just because your societal views and your biased views think that they don't look beautiful within that color. I will openly admit that there was a point in my life that I feel like I kind of had this kind of mindset because I was so conditioned by the whole light skin, dark skin. I feel like with light skin and dark skin stuff now, back then, maybe like 2012, 2011, when I was like in high school, basically there was like the hashtag team light skin and the hashtag team dark skin, and it was really prominent back then, especially when Tumblr was a thing. And I feel like that kind of conditioned me as well as people older than me like Peter Thomas. If there are certain aspects, there are certain characteristics, there are certain ways of life that are only designated by certain people, and that is such a slave master mindset mentality. You cannot sit up here and say that one spectrum of colored women should be exempt from a certain hair color because it doesn't look good to you. When in reality, if we're talking beauty, every girl has a shade of blonde that looks right on their skin tone, and I can understand where he's coming from. So he then made a final video to kind of apologize and kind of just go back on his words, and he basically said that he understands where a lot of people were coming from when he was getting dragged for the film.
Social media world. 2 days ago, I put up a post and I saw someone, I didn't like the way they look. All right. And I vent. All right. And all my sisters out there light my ass up. And I talked to a couple of them that I respect, and they broke it down to me. You know what I'm saying? And I was wrong. As a black man, I was wrong. I should use my platform, okay, to uplift, to empower, to celebrate my black woman. Not to pick apart, not to tear down, okay? My words was offensive to so many people that I respect. And for that, I truly apologize. It would never happen again. Okay, I should have looked at that woman like she was a sister, aunt, my mom, a relative, okay? And I don't know what she was going through that day, okay? But I was reckless, and for that, I promise you I apologize, so it will never happen.
And I feel like this is like a defense mechanism to make him look like he is now awoken, or now that he's been shooken from the conditioning that has been in his head. And I just call BS. That he's full of shit for that, because I just feel like that's not his genuine opinion. That's just how he felt, which is why he said it. If he really thought about how this could affect someone who is dark skinned that could be related to him, like a daughter or a sister or anybody, he still would have made the same statements, because that's just how he's been conditioned to feel. And I can't get too mad at him for being conditioned, but at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. This is a grown man making coloristic comments, and then want to sit up here and make it seem like Nene Leakes is an exception to that. No, keep that same energy. If you're saying that dark-skinned women cannot have a certain hair color, then keep that same energy when it does. Don't sit up here and try to, throw stones and hide your hands because it may affect somebody that you personally work with. That's kind of stupid, okay? All right. I just feel like in this day and age, moving into 2019, women should not still be sitting up here being told that something doesn't look good on them, or something is ugly, something they should not do. And nobody, especially somebody within your own race that's supposed to support you and have your back, black men, should be talking down on a woman who decides to get blonde hair and is dark skinned. There are so many dark skinned girls who will slay the blonde hair look better than some other people will. So I don't understand, why is that even up for a debate? Why is this even such a big deal? Why would you even make a comment like that? And I felt the need to talk about it because I feel like they try to keep us in one box in terms of the way how a black woman looks and the way how a black woman acts, especially those of us on the darker spectrum of women of color. They try to make it seem like we are all painted with one brush, which is why I made that video not just black, because we are multifaceted. We are super dimensional. We have different things about us, and we should not be sitting up here being looked at as one typical type person and saying that we're exempt from other things because we're of a certain skin shade on the color spectrum. I just don't feel like it's fair. Long story short, Peter Thomas, zip that your lips. Shut up that your mouth. I will slap you if you say that again, because it's just not cool. Like, who are you? I mean, who am I? But who are you? So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out I Am a Little Host channel, and make sure you check out her video on this. Also, check the description box down below for details about Unice Hair. They definitely are the sponsors of this video. And yes, I was being petty. I decided to purposely give this hair some color just because of what this man said, because you're not going to have me shook and bothered. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.